Follow us to stay updated on debates, discussions, facts, and tips about health. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon for latest updates.
Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Health Files with the Healthy Indian Project. I am Mehek, your host for the day, and welcome to our exclusive interview with Dr. Shradha Malik, a leading expert in mental health. Today we're going to delve into a topic that impacts many of us, anxiety in the workplace. So, Dr. Malik will bring her wealth of knowledge and experience to shed light on understanding, managing, and fostering a mentally healthy work environment. So, join us as we explore practical insights, strategies to navigate workplace anxiety effectively, and let's empower ourselves and create workplaces that prioritizes mental health and your mental well-being. Let's welcome Dr. Shradha Malik. Hi, Dr. Shradha. THIP Media welcomes you.
Thank you so much. I'm obliged for having me on this show.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And for all the people, we'll be talking about workplace anxiety today. And as we said in the introduction, Dr. Shraddha will be taking us through very commonly asked questions about workplace anxiety. So, my first question and the most asked question, like what are some common signs of workplace anxiety that people who are going through it can refer to?
Yes, so like any other anxiety, it's similar. Like people feel very anxious when they are at a workplace. They have social anxiety while dealing with their teams. They feel even physical symptoms like tremors, their heart rate increases. So they feel like, oh, they're not able to do something. They have performance anxiety. So a lot more anxiety levels are there that they are facing at a workplace.
Also, there is one common, term used as burnout. So, can you
Yes.
explain that also?
So burnout is somewhere when we are not sure in our communication, we are not clear in our communication to our superiors that this is an overwhelming work that is given to us, and that makes us anxious. And finally, they feel very burnout. They are working constantly. So that creates a burnout thing that yes, I cannot do beyond this. I cannot perform beyond this. So I'm totally burned out. But that is a part of an anxiety. Generally, zaruri nahi hai that anxious people are feeling burnout. So even a high performing person can feel burnout when they are going through a lot of, always on mode. Most of the competitive work culture have this thing in their work culture that always on, be on the job. You can be asked to be appearing anytime. So those kind of work culture environment, employees, those who are working in such culture, they are usually burnout. They are usually anxious always. So this really creates severe anxiety disorders among those employees who are working at such workplace culture.
Right. And, you just said that always work mode on. There is also one, common saying that hustle mode on and everything like that. There
Yes,
is a
you were
common thing going.
competitive. You're always on for us. You are our best employee. So
Yeah.
no, there should be a work-life balance. We are living a life. So work is a part of life. It's not our whole life.
Yes, and my next question was something related to this only. That you just
Mm.
talked about this culture that workplaces have. So, what role does a workplace culture play in either elevating anxiety in employees, and how can employees influence it positively?
Yeah, very nice question. So I would say workplace culture really have a very pivotal role. Like if it's a positive work culture, people will really like to work for them. It will foster their mental well-being. But if it is a negative work culture, a toxic work culture, so this will really heighten their anxiety. As I said, always on kind of work culture, very competitive environment kind of work culture. People are, doing a lot of office politics. So these things elevate, these things, I would say, heighten their anxiety in the individuals, and they really feel burned out. So what employees can do, despite having a bad culture, I say our office has a very toxic culture, but what employees can do to positively influence it. So what they can do, they should lead by example. What I mean by this lead by example, they have to show kindness towards each other. So this will have a ripple effect within the organization. If two people, a team is showing kindness that, okay, we are there to help you, we are there to support you in your stressors, don't worry. So it will really influence positively. They should advocate for change also. I mean, advocate for change, this, that if there are certain policies, I have seen company, I don't want to name them, they are very big MNCs. If you are late by 5-10 minutes, your half day is cut. So those kind of companies I'm referring to. So the employees should advocate, they should, raise their voice, they should give their feedbacks to this company's management that this is really impacting their mental health in a negative way. Secondly, they should do a self awareness also to see what is triggering their anxiety, how they can really help each other.
Right. And, in every work culture, or I must just say that everywhere there are two types of people. One is extrovert and one is introvert. So introvert people, tend to just stay in their shell, and it's very difficult for them to, share their feelings with somebody else. So how can introverts specifically deal with workplace anxiety, and especially in places where especially in companies where there is team culture, team oriented spaces and team oriented environment?
So see, there is a notion introvert are being influenced, introverted, are not able to flourish in such teamwork culture. It is not like that. Whatever value or whatever personality God has given you, which is not harmful to anybody, it is always your strength. So introverted individuals should know how to play to their strength. So what are their unique strength? Their unique strength is they are deep thinkers. They have attention to details. So they can, in a teamwork environment, they can volunteer for such tasks like planning a project, how to draft a plan, how to see test a thing, a project, whether it is going right and wrong. So those abilities, those capabilities, they can utilize to really gain a good teamwork. Secondly, I have seen in organizations, they are the most trustworthy people considered, because they don't big mouth around the workplace. They don't spread rumors. They are into themselves. So they are very much liked by their bosses. Bosses also have a lot of stressors coming from the senior management. So bosses, what they do, their superiors, their managers, I may say, they vent out their frustrations also to them, and they know that this person is a secretive, this person has a capability to keep that venting session within themselves. So they become very trustworthy for them, and they are very respected. So extroverts, yes, they tend to speak about their work day and night. They want to present themselves among the seniors that I'm doing the whole work. And being an introverted individual, they are not able to say those things. But you should play, the introverted individual should play their strength here. They should know how to do a teamwork by using their strength, by using their deep thinking, by using their structured way of working. So those are the things an introverted individual can do. And they also need to time manage themselves. There are certain tasks that needs, individual tasks, but there are certain tasks that needs to be done in a social environment, like meetings, how to present yourself in a meeting, because that causes a social anxiety in an introverted individual. So be prepared for that meeting. You should be self-aware about the triggers that is causing you anxiety. For example, if I may say, there is a meeting, so one should, they know that this any sort of meeting causes an anxiety in me. I have a social anxiety being an introverted individual. So what I may do, I should go to the meeting room and sit there 5 minutes before, so that I can grasp that environment of meeting. I can do some deep breathing before, even the meeting has started. So that will really reduce my anxiety level. At least the intensity is reduced. So this is how introverted individuals can play to their strength and can really flourish their career so well at a workplace and better than an extrovert.
Right. I hope all the introvert people got some points there. Uh, now after COVID and during COVID also, companies started to shift to remote, culture. And now we
Mm.
have a hybrid culture in places. So what are some strategies that, remote workers who just sit in their home in front of a screen and they cannot even figure out if they're into some workplace anxiety or not? So how can what are some strategies that remote workers can employ to combat, these feelings of isolation and anxiety while they're working from home?
So, remote working brings flexibility, bring convenience. Yet it also brings isolation and anxiety. What is happening at the workplace? I don't know. I'm working remotely. So, what are the things that they should imply as a coping strategy to anxiety? Number one, they should set some boundaries within their families. They should tell their family members that these are my work hours. So, do not disturb or schedule anything personal during my work hours. Secondly, they should set a routine, I may say, that these are my work hours, this is my break free time, and this is my family time. So, this way, they will be working on their anxiety levels. They know that I'm working this time. The family is aware this is their work hours. Third, they should have a designated work area, specific area at their home. This will cause a separation between a personal and professional life. A work life balance will be created through this. So, this also reduces a lot of anxiety in them. And lastly, they should be involved in some mindful exercises, some yoga, and also physical activity. Nobody can, what happens in, especially in the remote workers I have seen, they become very lazy. They are working on their, sitting on their beds, just being relaxing. So, their physical activity level goes very down. We cannot push how much level of motivation we give them, that you go and do a gym, you go and do a rigorous jogging. No, they will not go. It could if they are willing to go, I must say, but majority of population, I would say, they will really become very lazy. So to reduce their anxiety level, they could join some, for their enjoyment, some play groups in the society that they have. They might have a cricket team of the society members, a badminton team being created, or jog well in the groups of people in the evening. So that will also reduce their anxiety level. And lastly, they should always be communicating to their colleagues, virtual meetings, giving a phone call, oh, what is happening, so that they are aware about what is the thing, current scenario going on in a company, and they don't feel anxiety level induction so much that their inbox is filled with certain news and they get, oh my God, I'm not aware what happened. So, clear communication, continuous communication with their colleagues, and spending time on the physical activity, these all helps to reduce the anxiety while you're working remotely.
And I think I also got some points here because we also work in a hybrid mode,
Yes, we
and this
all work in a
helps.
hybrid mode.
Yeah,
Yes.
this helps. So there are some roles, where there is a customer. Sometimes it's a customer facing role, and sometimes it's a role that involves telephonic interviews in which people just cut your phone like anything. So, what are
Mhm.
some tools and techniques that employees or professionals like that who are in customer facing roles can use to elevate their anxiety levels, and how can they can manage, dealing with difficult customers per se?
Customer facing roles are the most difficult roles. Let acknowledge that. You are always on the brunt of the customers facing them, and customer can be very tough to handle. So first thing and foremost is that you should be an active listener. Listen, just give them a full undivided attention to the concerns of the clients. Let them express their grievances to you, their feelings to you, and they will feel this will give them a sense of being heard. And trust me, it will create a pathway for a good satisfactory resolution, mutual resolution among both the parties. When somebody feels, yes, I'm feeling heard, they heard me about my concerns. And I've seen my real life, if I went to some place and I have not felt good, I have raised my concerns, and if the other person started being defensive about, no, 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 we were there, no, 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 this is not like that, my anxiety has elevated, and the experience that I gain, I really brush them off, very badly, that this is not done, you're not customer centric. So those are the things. First, active listening is very important. Second, you have to be very clear communicator. I have seen, I'm talking in the sense of remote working, we are exchanging emails. Clear, simple, plain language communication in emails should be there. We should not use jargons that can be misunderstood by the client on the other side. So if you are very clear in your terms and conditions in explaining your project, so that really down reduces the anxiety of the customers. Third point, that some conflict resolution skills should be given to the people who are facing or on these customer facing roles. They should be trained through role plays. And when these skills are developed in the employees, they really learn how to deal with a tough client, how to reach to a resolution, so how to debug that bad situation, that verbally abusing clients. They learn how to deal with such people. Plus they should be taught to set boundaries. Boundary setting is very important. They should know, this is my point, I cannot go beyond this, and this is my time to escalate it to my senior so that they can pitch in and can resolve the situation. If somebody is getting very verbally abusive, like you are working in a remote working, if somebody gets abusive with you, you should know, this is my boundary. Now I will bring my senior to pitch in and help me out to come out of this situation. So that is the second thing that we should be being properly trained of, how to resolve conflicts, how to do role plays, and also share our experiences with other employees also, that there has been such and such situation in the past and this is how we deal with it. So setting an example for other people as a learning curve, they will learn that this is how things have to be worked out when you are facing a difficult client. So these are few things I would suggest as a tool and techniques to deal with a difficult customer in a customer facing role.
Right. And, some of these points also include some actions from the managerial,
Yes.
point, or, from the company's point per se. So, how can companies also set some performance levels that suits the employees? And how can employees deal with performance anxiety in the workplace?
Okay, so I will start this answer with that some level of anxiety is always good. We, as from the mental health expert, we consider an anxious person is always very hardworking. So that you can take as a quote. So acknowledge and accept that before a big meeting, before a big presentation, there will be some sort of anxiety. So when you acknowledge and accept, it automatically reduces the intensity of the anxiety. Secondly, you need to know that in a performance work culture, very competitive work culture, you need to keep on upgrading your skills. That will give you a sense of confidence in yourself. Maybe there is a lot of office politics happening in the company. Despite your so much efforts, putting your sincere efforts, you are managing your anxiety, you are preparing on time, but still your boss has some issues with you which cannot be resolved. So value and upgrade your skills. You should be having that confidence. If this company is not valuing me, the company B will. That is the thing, and it will give you, you know, kind of strength in yourself to believe in yourself, to have a self compassion towards yourself. Yes, okay, they don't believe in my skills. A company B will believe in me. Then, secondly, always go for a support group. You know, in a performance driven companies, you always should be backing up the other employee. So next time when you are under that performance pressure, you will also be having a shoulder to lean on, that person, that friend will help me during that performance. And I've seen in certain employees, they procrastinate the task. That is very bad. If I have a very important meeting tomorrow and I have prepared the PPT that is lying on my desktop, but I have to get it into my pen drive. And so it's a 2 minute job. I'll do it another day, the day just 5 minutes before the meeting. Trust me, those 5 minutes, if you do anything, even drink a glass of water, that will be full of anxiety because your preparation is not fully done. So always prepare yourself before any important performance. That will really help you to ease your anxiety level. So these are certain things in a performance anxiety people who have this thing, and even a performance culture, work culture place, that you have to perform day and night and you have to prove yourself. So these are the ways: time management, upgrading your skills, and no procrastination.
And I think the last point, all of we have a habit of doing that, 5 minutes का काम है बाद में कर
5 minute
लेंगे.
कल कर लेंगे.
Right.
It really has a big impact. I'm telling you, getting a simple printout will create an anxiety in you. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, you might be late now.
Yeah.
Then you keep on, even a simple drinking a glass of water will create anxiety for you. So be
Right.
prepared. Get all your armors ready for that meeting, and you will have a lower level of anxiety.
Absolutely. And, somebody taught me when I started working that, always have a list with
Yes,
yourself.
task.
Don't just
Yes.
learn and more things, because your brain will be jam packed with so many pointers.
Yes.
So I always
Yes.
try to have a list now so that I
Yes,
didn't
people should
procrastinate.
carry a small notepad with them
Yeah.
always. That these are my tasks. Checklist. Done, done, done. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think these were all the questions that I had for today's session. And I hope our audience also gained a lot of perspective and insights into the topic of workplace anxiety. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Shraddha. Any one of you has any other question, you can just drop the questions in the comment section below, and we'll definitely reach out to Dr. Shraddha for more help on that. Till then, we'll see you in our next episode. So, thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.